walls, the trenches filled with smoke. Foreign altars crown the ridges where the enemy invoked. Every flame declared dominion, every idol mocked the dawn. Then the breath of heaven answered, and their borrowed strength was gone. I thought those fires would burn forever, I thought their gods would still confront. Then holy judgment crossed the darkness, altars burned beyond the front. Altars burned beyond the front, grace marched through the flame. Mercy broke the cruel devotion, raised against the holy name. What demanded fear and worship could not stand when heaven spoke. God alone remained exalted through the ashes and the smoke. I had carried hidden idols, things I trusted more than prayer. Old ambitions, wounded honor, every throne I guarded there. Then the battlefield grew silent, and the truth became too blunt. Some of what I called protection was an altar near the front. Not every idol wears a statue, not every chain is forged and locked. Some are built inside the spirit, where the heart refuses God. Altars burned beyond the front, grace marched through the flame. Mercy broke the cruel devotion, raised against the holy name. What demanded fear and worship could not stand when heaven spoke. God alone remained exalted through the ashes and the smoke. Burn the altar of my anger, burn the shrine of wounded pride, burn the vows I made to hatred, burn the gods I keep inside. If I trust the sword above you, if revenge becomes my want, send your fire through my darkness, let the altars burn beyond the front. Altars burn beyond the front, grace marched through the flame. Mercy broke the cruel devotion, raised against the holy name. What demanded fear and worship could not stand when heaven spoke. God alone remained exalted through the ashes and the smoke. Beyond the line of soldiers, morning rose where idols stopped, and the Lord alone stood worthy when every false altar dropped. Climbed the hillside while the clouds concealed the sun. Every quiver carried silence, every heart knew what would come. The enemy filled the valley, and the wind began to change. Then 100 chords were tied, and bowstrings sang before the rain. I thought the storm would hide our vision, I thought our arrows flew in vain. Then mercy steadied every archer, bowstrings sang before the rain. Bowstrings sang before the rain, grace flew across the field. keep guarding. Take the gift I fear to spend. Let obedience be the bowstring. Let your purpose choose its end. If the clouds conceal the target, if my hands begin to strain, I will trust the Lord who sees it. Bowstrings sing before the rain. Bowstrings sang before the rain. Grace flew across the field. Mercy guided trembling arrows past the shadows and the shields. What had gathered in the valley could not hold its proud domain. God was moving through the thunder. Bowstrings sang before the rain. 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 Grace flew across the field. Mercy guided trembling arrows past the shadows and the shield. What had gathered in the valley could not hold its proud domain. God was moving through the thunder. Bowstrings sang before the rain. The archers left the hillside as the water washed the plain, but the valley still remembered how the bowstring sang before the rain. Were spread before us, marked with rivers, graves, and roads. Every line became a burden, every name increased the load outside. The soldiers praised us, certain victory had been sent, but no cheering reached the silence where commanders wept inside the tent. I thought the leaders carried answers. I thought their hearts could not be bent. Then mercy entered through the canvas. Commanders wept inside the tent. Commanders wept inside the tent. Grace heard every plea. under skies of burning brass. Every spear was raised for conquest, every army swore to last. But the sand began to gather, and the road began to disappear, till the weapons of the mighty were buried by the desert air. I thought the war would mark the ages, I thought the blades would rule the years. Then heaven breathed across the wasteland, desert winds buried the spears. Desert winds buried the spears, grace covered every claim. Mercy turned the pride of armies into dust without a name. What was raised to rule forever vanished with the passing years. God remained above the kingdoms, desert winds buried the spears. Broken helmets lined the valley, empty shields lay in the sand. Every empire left a warning, written by a fading hand. I had trusted in my weapons, trusted steel to calm my fears. But the Lord showed me how quickly desert winds can bury spears. Not every war deserves remembrance, not every victory earns our tears. Only what is built in heaven will survive the desert heat. Desert winds buried the spears, grace covered every claim. Mercy turned the pride of armies into dust without a name. What was raised to rule forever vanished with the passing years. God remained above the kingdoms, desert winds buried the Bury every cruel ambition, bury hatred in the sand. Take the weapon from my spirit, place your mercy in my hand. If I build my life on power, if I rule my heart through fear, let your holy wind remind me. Deserts always bury spears. Desert winds buried the spears, grace covered every claim. Mercy turned the pride of armies into dust without a name. What was raised to rule forever vanished with the passing years. God remained above the kingdoms, desert winds bury the spears. Desert winds bury the spears, grace covered every claim. Mercy turned the pride of armies into dust without a name. What was raised to rule forever vanished with the passing years. God reigned above the kingdoms, desert winds bury the spears. The battle crossed the wasteland, but no army lingered there. Only God remained eternal when the winds buried every spear. heroes lay in the grasses, silent witnesses of death. No more banners climbed the morning, no more captains gave a call. Only shadows crossed the sunlight, eagles circled over the fallen. I thought the dead had been forgotten, names abandoned where they fell. Then the heavens watched in silence, and the Lord remembered well. Eagles circled over the fallen, but heaven knew them all. Every warrior, every servant, every name beyond recall. Where the earth received the wounded, where the grieving heard no call, God remained beside the silence. Eagles circled over the fallen. Some had died defending brothers, some had fallen far from home, some had whispered final prayers where they thought they stood alone. I had feared the field would claim them, that the dust would have them all, but no grave escapes his vision, no forgotten soldier falls. Not by monuments or stories, not by songs inside the hall, but by God who counts each heartbeat. They were known beyond the fall. Eagles circled over the fallen, but heaven knew them all. Every warrior, every servant, every name beyond recall. Where the earth received the wounded, where the grieving heard no call, God remained beside the silence. Eagles circled over the fallen. God, the ones who carry memories, guard the homes that wait in vain. Hold the mothers, hold the children, hold the hearts that bear the pain. When the battlefield is empty, when no trumpet sounds at all, let your presence keep the vigil while eagles circle over the fallen. Eagles circled over the fallen, but heaven knew them all. Every warrior, every servant, every name beyond recall. Where the earth received the wounded, where the grieving heard no call, God remained beside the silence. Eagles circled over the fallen. The battle lost its thunder, and the evening covered all, but the Lord still kept their stories while eagles circled over the fallen. Cross the border with their colors raised in pride. Every flag declared a kingdom that believed it could not die. Then the clouds rolled over midday, your name. Burn away the lust for conquest. Cleanse the glory and the shame. If my loyalty becomes an idol, if my hatred seeks consent, make me bow before your justice. Let my flag bend in the judgment. Flags bent beneath the judgment. Crowns trembled in the rain. Every empire built on violence. Learn that pride cannot remain. What was raised above the helpless, what was stained by the innocent, bow before the God of justice. Flags bent beneath the judgment. 'The armies crossed the border, but their pride was finally spent. For no kingdom stands forever when flags bend beneath the judgment. No great army marched beside them, no strong walls concealed their names. Every torch was hidden under clay that kept away the light, till the signal broke the silence. Gideon's torches split the night. I thought the few would be defeated, I thought the weak had lost the fight. Then jars were broken, horns were sounded, Gideon's torches split the night. Gideon's torches split the night. Faith men stood waiting. Then the darkness lost the fight, for the Lord revealed his power when Gideon's torches split the night. Torches! Gideon's torches! Split the night! Torches! With the coastline dressed in flame, every harbor we had trusted disappeared beneath the rain. There would be no road returning, no familiar place to meet, only fire upon the waters, harbors burned behind the fleet. I thought retreat would bring me comfort. Toward the city, some still heard their children cry. Some had left their fields and fathers underneath the burning sky. I had begged for one safe doorway, one escape from our defeat, but the Lord was calling forward while harbors burned behind the fleet. Not every door deserves reopening. burned behind the fleet. Grace led across the foam. Mercy called us through the darkness, far beyond the shores of home. What we lost became surrender. What we feared we had to meet. God was waiting past the waters. Harbors burned behind the The ships moved through the darkness with no harbor for retreat. But the Lord became our compass when harbors burned behind the fleet. Certain no one could come near. Every hinge was forged in conquest. Every lock was sealed by fear. Captives whispered in the darkness while the gods prepared at length. Then the presence of the highest made iron gates forget their strength. I thought the bonds would stand forever. I thought the chains would measure length. Then mercy walked into the prison, and iron gates forgot their strength. Iron gates forgot their strength. Grace opened every way. Mercy broke the ancient locks that kept the dawn away. What had boasted of its power, what had ruled through violent strength, fell before the God of freedom. Iron gates forgot their strength. I had pushed against the doorway till my hands were bruised and torn. I had prayed through countless midnights, waiting for a different morn. But the Lord was not defeated by the walls of human strength. And one word became the breaking that made iron gates forget their strength. Not by tools or secret armies, not by force of flesh or rank, but by heaven touching darkness, every lock became too weak. Iron gates forgot For the Lord had spoken freedom, and the gates forgot their strength. Filled with armies, and the horses dressed in flame. Every ruler claimed the future, every sword defended shame. Then the clouds became a warning, and the sky released the rain, while the justice of the highest rode in thunder across the plain. I thought the proud would keep their kingdoms, I thought the cruel would always reign. Then heaven mounted holy judgments, and it rode across the plain. Judgment rode across the plain, justice carried heaven's name, mercy sheltered all the humble, while the guilty faced the flame. What was built upon oppression could not rise or stand again. God remembered every victim, judgment rode across the plain. Every throne had hidden stories, every crown concealed a grave, every palace stood on labor, taken from the poor and enslaved. I had wondered if the wicked would forever keep their gain, till the Lord arose in justice, riding swiftly through the plain. Not from hatred, not from chaos, not from mankind's thirst for pain, but filled with armies. Judge the pride inside my claim. Keep me from becoming cruel while I speak your holy name. If I stand among the mighty, if I profit from another's pain, let your justice ride within me, like thunder crossing through the plain. Judgment rode across the plain. Justice carried heaven's name. Mercy sheltered all the humble, while the guilty faced the flame. What was built upon oppression could not rise or stand again. God remembered every victim. Judgment rode across the plain. The plain was filled with armies, but the glory could not remain. For the Lord had come in justice. Judgment rode across the plain. Touched the heavens, and their gates were dressed in gold. Every king believed his empire would outlive the young and old. But the wind crossed through the cities, and their iron turned to rust, when the voice above all nations made kingdoms shiver in the dust. I thought their walls were everlasting. I thought their crowns deserved our trust. Then mercy showed how small they were. Kingdom shivered in the dust. Kingdom shivered in the dust. Thrones bowed before the Lord. Every empire lost its boasting at the speaking of his word. What was mighty became fragile. What was feared became unjust. God alone remained eternal. Kingdom shivered in the dust. I had placed my hope in rulers. I had trusted flags and names. I had thought the hands of princes could protect us from the flames. But no leader stands forever, and no promise made by flesh can replace the God of heaven when the strongest kingdoms rest. Not every crown deserves devotion. Not every power earns our trust. Only God remains unshaken when the nations turn to dust. Kingdom shivered in the dust. Thrones bowed before the Lord. Every empire lost its boasting at the speaking of his word. What was mighty became fragile. What was feared became unjust. God alone remained eternal. Kingdom shivered in the dust. Shake the kingdom in my spirit. Shake the throne I built from pride. Let no earthly power own me. Let no ruler be my guide. If the world demands my worship, if its promises seem just, I will bow to God alone while kingdoms shiver in the dust. Kingdom shivered in the dust. Kingdom shivered in the dust. Thrones bowed before the Lord. Every empire lost its boasting at the speaking Their towers touched the heavens, but they could not earn his trust. For the Lord alone stood sovereign when kingdoms shivered in the dust. The sun was sinking crimson past the smoke above the hill. Every quiver stood near empty, every wounded mouth grew still. We had fought since early morning, we had given blood and sweat. Then the archers raised their final hope, last arrows flew at sunset. I thought the day would end in failure, I thought defeat had been our dead. Their mercy guided what remained, last arrows flew at sunset. Last arrows flew at sunset, grace crossed through the sky. Mercy carried every prayer that weary hands could still supply. What was left became an offering, what was broken was not useless yet. God received our final courage, last arrows flew at sunset. Some had only one shaft waiting, some had none but still stood near. Some had lost the strength for aiming, some were blinded by their tears. I had kept my final arrow as if hope could be preserved, but the Lord said, give me everything and trust the path it serves. Not by saving what was given, not by hiding from regret, but by placing all before him, we released our final breath. Last arrows flew at sunset, grace crossed through the sky. Mercy carried every prayer that weary hands could still supply. What was left became an offering, what was broken was not useless yet. God received our final courage, last arrows flew at sunset. Take the final strength within me, take the hope I hide away. Let me spend it in obedience before the ending of the day. If the shadows close around me, if no second chance is said, I will lose my final arrow, let it fly into the sunset. Last arrows flew at sunset, grace crossed through the sky. Mercy carried every prayer that weary hands could still supply. What was left became an offering, what was broken was not useless yet. God received our final courage, last arrows flew at The sun was sinking crimson, but our faith had not died yet. For the Lord still fought beside us when last arrows flew at sunset. were filled with smoke. Every tower shook with thunder, every ancient window broke. Still the message had to reach them, still the warning must be heard. So they wrapped their wounds in linen and ran carrying the word. I thought the flames would stop their footsteps, I thought the road would soon expire. Then courage rose above the terror, messengers ran through the fire. Messengers ran through the fire, grace guarded every breath. Mercy carried words of warning through the avenues of death. What was written for the faithful could not perish in the fire. God preserved the living message. Messengers ran through the fire. Some were struck by falling timbers, some were blinded by the ash. Some could hear the enemy soldiers moving closer through the crash. Yet they would not hide the promise, they would not abandon truth. For a word can save a nation when delivered through the ruin. Not for glory, not for honor, not to feed their own desire, but because the truth was urgent, they kept running through the fire. Messengers ran through the fire, grace guarded every breath. Mercy carried words of warning through the avenues of death. What was written for the faithful could not perish in the fire. God preserved the living message. Messengers ran through the fire. Make me faithful with the message, make me brave enough to speak. Even when the road is burning, even when my knees are weak. If the truth you place within me must be carried through the mire, let my feet obey your calling. Messengers run through the fire. Messengers ran through the fire, grace guarded every breath. Mercy carried words of warning through the avenues of death. What was written for the faithful could not perish in the fire. God preserved the living message. Messengers ran through the fire. The city gates were burning, but the word climbed ever higher. For the Lord sustained his servants, messengers ran through the fire. No soldier stood alone. The night surrounded every shield, and the cold entered the bone. Every warrior watched the darkness, certain death would find its own. Then a hand reached through the silence, and a brother pulled him close. Shoulder joined with wounded shoulder, no soldier stood alone. I thought the battle made us strangers, I thought each heart must fight its own. The mercy formed a line beside us, no soldier stood alone. No soldier stood alone. Grace held the battle line. Mercy joined the weak together when the strength began. No soldier stood alone. Grace held the battle line. Mercy joined the weak together when their strength began to die. What one warrior could not carry was divided stone by stone. God became our bond in battle. No soldier stood alone. No soldier stood The night surrounded every shield, but love became our home. For the Lord walked there among us. No soldier stood alone. Upon the hammer for 100 nights of fear. Every gate was split and trembling. Every enemy drew near. Food was fading in the houses. Hope was thinning in the streets. Then the people climbed the ramparts and prayers rose above the siege. Stones would soon surrender. I thought despair would never cease. Then faith became a voice above us. Prayers rose above the siege. Prayers rose above the siege. Grace climbed beyond the wall. Mercy reached the throne of heaven when no army heard our call. What the enemy surrounded could not silence or decrease. God received the cry of Zion. Prayers rose above the siege. Mothers prayed beside their children. Watchmen prayed beneath the rain. Soldiers prayed with bloodied armor. Elders prayed despite the pain. I thought we needed weapons, something strong enough to seize. But our greatest strength was lifted when prayers rose above the siege. Not because we feared the battle, not because we begged for ease, but because the Lord alone could bring the proud down to their knees. Prayers rose above the siege. Grace climbed beyond the wall. Mercy reached the throne of heaven when no army heard our call. What the enemy surrounded could not silence or decrease. God received the cry of Zion. upon the hammer, but our worship did not cease. And the morning found us singing. Prayers rose above the sea. Across the valley, like a wound against the sky. Every flag was raised for conquest, every drum demanded lives. Then the wind withdrew its roaring, and the battlefield grew still. One by one the colors lowered, falling softly down the hill. I thought that fall would sound like thunder. I thought the earth would answer violence, but judgment came without a trumpet. Red banners fell in silence. Red banners fell in silence. Grace stood above the plain. Mercy ended generations bound to bitterness and pain. What had flown above oppression lost its fury and defiance. God removed the marks of hatred. Red banners fell in silence. Some would follow without question, some had marched because of fear. Some had worn the colors proudly, never asking why they were there. I thought the cloth was sacred, thought the cause could hide our violence, till the truth exposed the bloodstains and the banners fell in silence. Not every symbol speaks of honor, not every army walks in guidance. God will tear away the colors used to justify the violence. Red banners fell in silence. Grace stood above the plain. Mercy ended generations bound to bitterness and pain. What had flown above oppression lost its fury and defiance. God removed the marks of hatred. Red banners fell in silence.
Minus. 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 Minus.
Lower every flag of hatred, lower pride from every height. Let no banner stand between us and the kingdom of your light. If my cause becomes an idol, if my loyalty breeds violence, let your truth disarm my spirit. Let my banner fall in silence. Red banners fell in silence. Grace stood above the plain. Mercy ended generations bound to bitterness and pain. What had flown above oppression lost its fury they could not rule the violence, for the Lord had ended hatred. Red banners fell in silence. Me kneeling with the iron split in two. Every edge that once defended had forgotten what to do. I could no longer raise the weapon that had carried me through flame, so I placed it in the scabbard, though the blade would not be the same. I thought that broken meant forgotten. I thought no purpose still remained. The mercy guided every fragment. The scabbard held the broken blade. The scabbard held the broken blade. Grace carried what was torn. Mercy kept the wounded weapon till its purpose was reborn. What could no longer fight the battle was not useless or betrayed. God still honored every fragment. The scabbard held the broken blade. I had measured all my value by the battles I could win, by the strength inside my shoulders, by the fire I held within. But the Lord did not reject me when my courage bent and frayed. He received me in my weakness, like the scabbard held the blade. Not every season calls for fighting. Not every wound should be concealed. Sometimes God removes the weapon so the warrior can be healed. The scabbard held the broken blade. Grace carried what was torn. Mercy kept the wounded weapon till its purpose was reborn. What could no longer fight the battle was not useless or betrayed. God still honored every fragment. The scabbard held the broken Hold the pieces of my courage, hold the strength that war has drained. Keep me close through every silence while your hands restore the blade. If I cannot face the conflict, if my spirit feels delayed, let me rest beneath your mercy like a scabbard holds the blade. The scabbard held the broken blade. Grace carried what was torn. Mercy kept the wounded weapon till its purpose was reborn. What could no longer fight the battle was not useless or betrayed. God still honored every fragment. The scabbard held the broken blade. The battle left me kneeling, but my soul was not betrayed. For the Lord remained beside me where the scabbard held the blade. watchtower faced the darkness, with its stones already scarred. Every hour brought new shadows, every wind made watching hard. Enemies move beneath the hillside, heading far beyond our sight. Still the flame remained above us, and the watchtower survived the night. I thought the walls would fall by midnight, I thought the gods would lose the fight. Then mercy strengthened every watchman. The watchtower survived the night. The watchtower survived the night. Grace guarded every stone, mercy stood beside the weary when they thought they stood alone. What the darkness tried to conquer could not overcome the light. God remained upon the rampart. The watchtower survived the night. Some had watched through days of thunder, some had not slept for a week. Some could barely lift their lanterns, some were far too tired to speak. I had prayed for dawn to hurry, prayed for one relieving sight, but the Lord was forming patience while the tower faced the night. Not by never growing weary, not by eyes that never close, but by calling one another when the unseen danger rose. The watchtower survived the night. Grace guarded every stone, mercy stood beside the weary when they thought they stood alone. What the darkness tried to conquer could not overcome the light. God remained upon the rampart. The watchtower survived the Keep me faithful at my station, keep my lantern burning clear. Let me warn the sleeping city when the enemy draws near. If the morning feels forgotten, if the darkness hides the light, I will stand upon your promise. The watchtower survives the night. The watchtower survived the night. Grace guarded every stone, mercy stood beside the weary when they thought they stood alone. What the darkness tried to conquer could not overcome the light. God remained upon the rampart. The watchtower survived the night. The watchtower survived the night. The watchtower survived the night. The watchtower faced the darkness, then the dawn restored our sight, and the city woke beneath it, for the tower survived the night. Wounded hands lifted the standard when the bearer struck the ground. Every soldier saw the colors disappear without a sound. My hands were cut and shaking, and my strength had nearly scattered. Still I reached into the wreckage, wounded hands my broken strength would shatter. Then mercy moved inside my weakness. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Grace raised what had fallen. Mercy gave the weary courage when they heard the final calling. What was stained became a witness. What was torn still truly mattered. God restored the hope of soldiers. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Every step became an agony. Every breath became a fight. But the banner told the scattered where to gather in the night. I had nothing left for glory, nothing strong enough to flatter. Only faith beneath the bleeding, and two hands that raised the standard. Not because the wounds were painless, not because the fear had passed, but because the ones behind me needed hope enough to last. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Grace raised what had fallen. Mercy gave the weary courage when they heard the final calling. What was stained became a witness. What was torn still truly mattered. God restored the hope of soldiers. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Use my hands though they are wounded. Use my voice though it may shake. Let the fallen see your promise. Let the sleeping hearts awake. If the banner falls before me, if the faithful ranks are scattered, give me strength to lift it higher. Wounded hands can raise the standard. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Grace raised what had fallen. Mercy gave the weary courage when they heard the final calling. What was stained became a witness. What was torn still truly mattered. God restore the hope of soldiers. Wounded hands lifted the standard. The standard fell beside me, but defeat was not the answer. For the Lord gave strength to weakness. Wounded hands lifted the standard. Zion heard the distant horns. Zion slept beneath the starlight, with her gates against the cold. While the watchmen searched the mountains for the armies long foretold. Then a sound crossed through the valleys, past the vineyards and the thorns, and the city woke in trembling. Zion heard the distant horns. I thought the night would hide the warning, I thought the dawn would find us torn. Then mercy sounded from the mountains. Zion heard the distant horns. Zion heard the distant horns. Zion heard the distant horns. Grace gathered every soul. Mercy called the scattered people back beneath the Lord's control. What had slept began preparing. What had wandered was reborn. God awakened every watchman. Zion heard the distant horns.
Zion heard the distant horns. Zion heard the distant.
Some believed the sound meant battle, some believed the king was near. Some ran quickly to the ramparts, some fell down in holy fear. I had filled my days with comfort, never watching for the morn, till the trumpet crossed my slumber and my sleeping heart was warm. Not every trumpet speaks of terror, not every warning means defeat. Sometimes heaven calls the faithful to prepare the king to meet. Zion heard the distant horns. Zion heard the distant horns. Grace gathered every soul. Mercy called the scattered people back beneath the Lord's control. What had slept began preparing. What had wandered was reborn. God awakened every watchman. Zion heard the distant horns. Wake the city of my spirit. Wake the gates I left unguarded. Let me hear you coming clearly. Let my faith remain wholehearted. If the world has made me drowsy, if my hope is tired and worn, call me back to holy watching. Let me hear the distant horn. Zion heard the distant horn.
Zion heard the distant horns.
Zion heard the distant horns. Grace gathered every soul. Mercy called the scattered people back beneath the Lord's control. What had slept began preparing. What had wandered was reborn. God awakened every watchman. Zion heard the distant horns. 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 Grace gathered every soul. Mercy called the scattered people back beneath the Lord's control. What had slept began preparing.